This bowl of guacamole looks simple. Just avocados, lime salt, maybe some cilantro. But this avocado, cut from a tree in Michoacán, Mexico, before the sun came up this morning, has already traveled further than most people drive in a year. By the time it reaches your kitchen, it will have passed through the hands of 11 different companies and survived a race against its own biology. Here is the secret the industry does not advertise. The most expensive part of that journey is not the distance. It is the clock. The moment this avocado was cut from the branch, a biological timer started. Every hour it inches closer to overripeness. Refrigerated trucks, cargo jets, windowless ripening chambers. This entire global supply chain exists for one reason: to slow that clock down. This is the story of what it actually costs to put an avocado on your table. And the answer will change how you see that $2 fruit forever. Our avocado starts here, Michoacán, Mexico. This region produces more avocados than anywhere else on Earth. The volcanic soil and elevation create conditions that are almost impossible to replicate. When demand exploded with the avocado toast generation, the money that followed was enormous. And wherever enormous money flows in Michoacán, it attracts attention. In 2022, armed groups blockaded the highways out of Michoacán for days. Exports stopped entirely. The United States briefly suspended avocado imports. Super Bowl week, the single biggest avocado consumption event of the year, nearly had no guacamole. That disruption never appeared on your grocery receipt, but the cost is there. Growers now pay for armed escorts, security monitoring, and crisis insurance. Those costs are baked into every avocado you buy. It is called a security premium, and it is the first hidden tax on our avocado's journey. The packing house is where the clock-slowing operation truly begins. The avocado is washed, sorted, and graded by size and quality. But the most important step is temperature. Our avocado arrived warm from the sun. That warmth accelerates ripening. So it is blasted with forced air, cooling, dropping its core temperature rapidly, essentially slowing its metabolism. From this moment forward, our avocado must stay within a precise temperature window, between 40 and 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Too cold, and the flesh blackens and dies. Too warm, and the clock starts racing again. The cold chain once started cannot be broken. Not at the warehouse, not at the port, not on the truck. One broken refrigeration unit or delayed handoff can destroy the entire shipment. Next decision: how does it cross the border? This is the high-stakes bet every distributor makes: sea freight or air freight. But a container traveling from Mexico to the East Coast can spend up to 3 weeks in transit. Air freight is different. It is speed. Flying an avocado can add roughly 30 cents to the logistics cost. That sounds small until you multiply it by 1 million units. Distributors do not fly produce casually. They fly it when the math demands it. Super Bowl week, Valentine's Day, or when a sudden demand spike empties grocery shelves. In those moments, distributors trade dollars for shelf life, betting consumers will pay more for a perfectly ripe avocado exactly when they want it. Before our avocado can legally enter the United States, it reaches the most rigid checkpoint in the system: USDA inspection. Inspectors are searching for invasive pests, insects, or fungi that could devastate domestic crops. A contaminated shipment can be rejected entirely. A $50,000 load destroyed. The grower absorbs the loss. The distributor absorbs the delay. And delay here is brutal, because our avocado is still aging. The cold chain protects the fruit, but time cannot be paused. Our avocado arrives at a warehouse, hard as a rock. That is intentional. Shipping a ripe avocado would turn it into mush long before it reached a store shelf. So inside these windowless rooms, the process reverses. Distributors release ethylene gas, a natural plant hormone that triggers ripening. By controlling gas concentration, temperature, and humidity, they can synchronize thousands of avocados. Not approximately, the exact same day. If a supermarket chain expects 50,000 avocados on Friday for a promotion, they do not rely on nature. They rely on logistics. Our avocado's entire biological timeline has now been scheduled by a warehouse computer system. The avocado is routed through distribution centers using inventory algorithms. Shipments are directed to grocery stores, restaurants, and delivery platforms. Increasingly, those shipments do not go to traditional stores. They go to dark stores, windowless micro-fulfillment centers built entirely for delivery apps. You order groceries at 9 p.m. Your avocado arrives 20 minutes later, perfectly ripe, timed to that exact window. But the last mile is also the most expensive part of the system. Retailers absorb spoilage, risk storage cost, labor, and delivery logistics. Industry estimates suggest 10 to 15% of fresh produce never sells. That loss does not disappear. It gets priced into the avocados that do sell. Now follow the money. The farmer received 35 cents. Packing and cooling added 10 cents. Transportation and cold chain logistics added roughly 40 cents. Distribution and ripening added another 20 cents. Retail markup and spoilage risk added about $1. You paid $2.05. The fruit itself cost 35 cents to grow. You are not just buying an avocado. You are buying the cost of keeping a living thing alive across 10,000 miles, against a clock that started the moment it left the tree. That is what is inside your guacamole. The system was always there. Farms inspectors, ripening rooms, warehouses, and delivery networks, running constantly whether anyone notices them or not. Most people never do. Now you do. The system was always there. We just followed it. Subscribe, because the avocado is just the beginning.